So gamers, not the happiest of videos today, but I mean, hey, you can't win every single game you play, I guess. For those of you that are probably wondering, no, the title is by no means clickbait, and yes, this is one of the biggest YouTube stories ever. The way YouTube has been mishandling me for 4+ years now has been an absolute disaster, and they haven't paid me in 4+ years, which is pretty crazy to say the least. Oh, and also stick around to the end of the video because I'm making my own goddamn website. Yes, you heard correctly. There's way too much YouTube bullshit around, and someone has to circumvent it. That someone will be me. I'm making a website. Stick around. Now, to put this into context, this was between both of my channels, my main channel, Taku, and my second channel, Nuxanor, because they are both attached to the same AdSense account, because only one person can have one AdSense account. So, between the two channels, that's over 350 million views, and if you ask anyone, that is over $1 million. And YouTube decided, hey, let's not pay this guy for 4 years, and it's actually extremely sad, and I don't know anyone else that was in this dilemma that I was, so I needed to make this video for several reasons. One, to talk to you about this massive issue, and I honestly think that the entire world, well, at least the entire world that's interested in YouTube, needs to know about this. So please share this around. It's actually stupidly important. And also to thank a certain individual that helped me out tremendously, that many of you guys know as the moistest of men, the pleasure wizard, moist critical, Charlie Penguin Z0. He goes by many names because he's basically YouTube Batman, except slightly taller. We're gonna need to get into a lot of details here. I'm gonna need to tell you a lot of secrets and a lot of hardships that I had to overcome in the past 4 years because this is stupidly difficult and YouTube's system is broken and does not care about you. I felt like this was an extremely important and prevalent video to make all together, as well as an update on a few things, explaining a bunch of reasons why I did certain things, and all in all, this needed to be said. I didn't want to say it until now because I really wanted to, come to some sort of resolution before making this video. I wanted to know exactly where I stand, and now that I finally do, I think it's time to let you know and bring you into the fold. A lot of YouTubers that I know, I personally have told this story. All of them flipped out because none of YouTube hasn't paid you like $1 million that they owe you. That's a lot of money. Yes, that is a lot of money, but I try to be transparent with you guys, and I do appreciate the bond that we share. The fact that, I'm honest. And I try to be honest with you, and let me invite you into the scariest YouTube story you've ever heard in your entire life. The twists and turns are tumultuous. It's not like just one thing that made YouTube not pay me. This story, legit, it's like a goddamn anime. It has different story arcs in it. So I implore you to please watch till the end of the video, and to please share this video around, because more people need to know that this is a thing that happened on the lovely platform YouTube, which would never ever hinder its creators ever in a million years. So I have almost 2 million subscribers at the time of recording this video. I have 1.98 million subs. And yes, I still stand by what I said. At 2 million subscribers, I will summon Satan. That's the milestone I set for myself a while ago. We're definitely gonna do that. But anyway, on a much brighter note than summoning Satan, around 4 years ago was the time that I was able to monetize my channel. And at that time, I was in vacation in another country that I was not a citizen of. And I was like, yo, I have like 30K subs or whatever. I finally hit the monetization threshold, because you need however many thousands of views and subscribers to monetize your channel originally. And I never actually anticipated that doing YouTube would be an actual job. It was just a hobby at the time. So I was like, oh, dope, I can make some money on the side. This could maybe buy me a bag of Doritos every second week from the ad revenue I make from talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. So I monetized my channel. Everything's going well. I'm back from vacation and I'm going through all the different forms and whatevers. And it says, this is gonna sound so stupid to you, but it's the truth. You monetized this channel in a different country. It can therefore only be attached to a bank account in said other country and pay you in that currency. I was like, what? I'm a dual citizen. I am Canadian and I am American. And I couldn't actually attach the AdSense account from my YouTube channel to a Canadian or American bank? YouTube is based in America and I couldn't attach it to an American bank? I was like, all right, this is ridiculous. I'll just figure this out. So I end up talking to different people in the creator program, and I'm in this massive freaking painfully long conversation with a bunch of different people. It's taking months because it takes them like a week to respond to every email, and this is an email chain of hundreds of emails. This is all seemingly like, well, eventually it's gonna work out, and then eventually they say, oh, actually, there is no way to transfer your account from whatever other country you're in to an American or Canadian one. The only thing you can do is delete your AdSense account and make a new one. All right, now this sounds not so bad. You just delete it, you make a new one, easy. But at that point, YouTube owed me tens of thousands of dollars, and that was all stuck in an AdSense account that if I would delete it, I'm basically forfeiting those tens of thousands of dollars. I didn't really want to do that, obviously, because that is a lot of money, and I ended up needing to figure out an alternate solution. So, I go back to said country, so that it's irrelevant which country. I go back to said country. I make a bank account in said country. Everything is going swimmingly. They transfer the money to the bank account of the other country, and everything's wonderful until, the bank account gets frozen. Well, why does the bank account get frozen, you ask? Well, you see, America has a new policy that they're worried about money laundering, so whenever a large sum of money gets sent from America to any other country on the planet, it needs billions of layers of authentication purposes in order to prove that it was actually not for money laundering purposes. Now, believe it or not, YouTube AdSense calls me Nux Taku because that's my channel name. And believe it or not, my legal name is not, in fact, Nux Taku. Yes, it's stupid as it sounds. So the bank was like, well, actually, the layers of authentication required is not enough. I'm sorry. No, you cannot access this money. My plan was just, okay, I'll just have the money sent there, and then I'll transfer it to my Canadian or American bank, and then, I actually have access to the money that I've been putting hours and hours and hours and hours of work into. But then Uncle Sam steps in and is like, we have a new rule. Bank is like, we're not messing with the Americanos, and unfortunately, I, again, had a bank account at the time, because this was months after they started sending money, with approximately $250,000 frozen in that bank account in another country that I am not a citizen of, that I don't live in, that has access to my money. Again, $250,000, which was everything that I made from YouTube at the time, completely frozen in a bank in a country that I don't live in, that I'm not a citizen of, and that I don't have access to at all, and I can't even transfer it because the bank account was frozen also. I was so frustrated, I didn't know what to do, and at this point is only part of my problems. So now, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And the reason why this is even more difficult than you even think at this point, you're like, okay, Nux, fine. So you don't have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars that YouTube owes you. But at least, you're making money from sponsorships and stuff. They don't send it to this kooky bank account in another country. They'll actually, send it to your PayPal. And that is true. But there is one little detail that I think you are forgetting. And that detail is taxes. That is correct. Legally, I am making all the money that YouTube is putting into my AdSense account. Now, I don't have access to any of it, so I can't pay taxes with it, but I am liable to pay taxes on all of it. I have met with lawyers from Canada, lawyers from America, international lawyers, and accountants. I've met with so many people over years and years and years, and yes, I had to pay taxes on all the money that I was making that I couldn't access. My sponsor money was going directly into paying taxes for money that I could not access, and YouTube couldn't do anything about it. Hello? Is that not the stupidest thing you've ever heard? It's a disaster, an actual disaster, a travesty that this was going forth. And that YouTube did not care because they were making 45% of all the ad revenue I make goes directly to YouTube. So they don't care if I can't access my money or not because they're getting paid, so they don't give a damn. Now, realize I'm a YouTube channel with almost 2 million subscribers, and I could not wheedle my way out of this. Now, through the regular channels of Google systems, I couldn't do anything. AdSense doesn't even have a support system, so you can't contact them at all. Yes, that's stupid, I know, but that's the truth. And this is with me having the following that I have. I'm not the biggest YouTube channel, but 2 million subscribers is nothing to scoff at, and I couldn't do anything about this. I've spoken to a whole bunch of people, and no one's ever heard of this issue. Well, No one's been able to really help me until the moistest of men, who's honestly, he deserves so much respect. That's one of the reasons why I'm actually going ahead and making this video right now, because Charlie from the YouTube channel Penguins Z0 is like one of the nicest people ever. I've been watching his videos for years and years and years, even before I started making YouTube videos, and the fact that I get to talk to this guy now is, I have so much respect for him, and I'm honored that he takes time out of his day to speak to me. I genuinely love this man. All 5 foot and 6 inches of this colossal titan. So he started a company called the Human Media Group, where he basically wants to help YouTubers that are in tricky and tough situations. Now, most of the time, that's bad copyright strikes or bad community guideline strikes, when someone gets falsely striked, when channels get falsely taken down. There are some channels that got demonetized because YouTube's like, I believe that you are in fact a compilation channel and you are not your own channel. And then the Human Media Group steps in and kicks YouTube's butt. These guys are legends. And honestly, dude, Charlie's not even taking money for this. He's doing it like out of his own free will. God, this man is such a legend. Anyway, I asked him if his company can help me out with this situation, because at this point I have a frozen bank account with $250,000 in it that I have no access to, and that is still frozen to this very day. Fun fact, we're working on it, but it is still frozen to this very day. And then I have AdSense, which owes me hundreds of thousands of more dollars that they can't transfer to me because they can only transfer it to a bank account in a country that I am not a citizen of. And I don't want to make another bank account in that country because that'll just get frozen too, because the American stupid laws about money laundering and shiz, and there's no way out of this. So anyway, after months and months and months of working on this, a massive email chain, because they have their contacts directly into YouTube, I was working with Charlie himself, the legend, with Ben, who works with Charlie's Human Media Group and is the husband of GB ASMR. And it's hilarious because I got to know Ben not through GB, because I'm friends with GB, but I got to know Ben through Charlie, not through I don't know, I just find that pretty funny. And he's an absolute legend. He's been helping me with sponsors, and what a beast. I love that man. And also Super Spicy Matt. He's the tall guy. I mean, I don't know if he's tall. He's in a lot of Charlie's videos. He's a lot taller than Charlie, but I don't know if that makes him tall. Yes, absolute legend as well. He's been helping me out. We've been talking to YouTube for months and months. Massive chains of emails, back and forths. Again, this last time that I paid taxes, I was literally in the red, okay? Because I'm making money off YouTube AdSense and I need to pay taxes for the AdSense from what I made from sponsors. I didn't even have access to the money this last time, and it was really rough. I went in the red for that. How insane. Over this time, over these months, these emails, we managed to find a way to make a different AdSense account under a different name, under a name, the Human Media Group's name, them themselves under their name. And then I could transfer the funds from one AdSense to another AdSense, and then delete my AdSense and simultaneously change the name of that AdSense to my legal name, so that YouTube could actually pay me. Now, I want to be clear. It's not like this is something I could have done myself. I just didn't know how to do it. This is not something that was doable in the YouTube system. We literally had to pull strings because of contacts that the Human Media Group had within the YouTube system to actually get this done. And it is extremely frustrating that I was in a predicament like this where I was losing money on YouTube. And not just a little bit of money. If you're making X amount of money in a year and you're self-employed, so in Canada you have to pay the 40% taxes at least. You're paying 40% on hundreds of thousands of dollars that you don't have access to. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxes that you don't have any money to pay aside from sponsors. It's been kind of rough over these last 4 years, not gonna lie, but finally I managed to access not the $250,000 that's still frozen. Another country, goddammit! But I have had access to, aside from that, all the money that YouTube's owed me over the last few years. And finally, that has been transferred to my bank account. And again, huge, massive, mucho, ultra thanks to Charlie and the entire Human Media Group team for helping me out with this, because without them, this would not have happened. I think you could tell when the money got transferred to me. If you look at my content of late, I've been putting a lot more money and effort into my YouTube videos because I can. I know it's kind of cringe to say, but I've hosted some crazy tournaments, which made some of the best content I've seen on YouTube in a long, long time, and I'm super proud of it. If you're watching this video and you don't know who I am, I highly urge you to check those out, because honestly, dude, I hosted a tournament, a $10,000 tournament, where the last person to stop streaming wins, and Mr. Moist even competed, and I had 8 streamers, and they streamed for over 2 weeks, like, just trying to... Dude, the fact that I could go ahead and make this content that I'm happy to make, finally, after years, I have so much appreciation that you guys have been enjoying the recent videos and that I'm able to actually make the recent videos. So if you don't know who I am, check them out. And if you know who I am for my old stuff, check out my new stuff because it's really damn good. Basically, I finally got paid for the first time in over 4 years from YouTube. My accountant was very happy to see that. He was like, oh, did you know that over $1 million was just transferred to your bank account? And I was like, yes! Because tax seasons have been actually killing me. I wanted to update you guys and tell you where the change was, what the change was, how things have been kind of going, because a lot of you have noticed the upscale in quality in my recent videos, and the fact that like I'm devoting time to streaming and my second channel, and I'm so happy that I'm able to work on things that I want to work on, where I'm so happy finally with the state of my main channel, where I'm so proud of the videos that I'm able to make. I know they're less frequent, but a lot of work goes into them. And again, Charlie, absolute legend. So yeah, that's been a thing that I've been dealing with for the past few years. And it's a thing that has hurt me in more ways than you can imagine. But I'm happy I can finally talk about it. And it's important to talk about because YouTube people need to recognize how YouTube views its creators. And unless people actually notice something, it will never change. So this is kind of just to put some light on the situation. I'm not expecting anything directly to change because of this video, but the more people that are aware of something, the more ways that it could possibly eventually change. So that's really kind of what this one's about. If you could share this around, I would really appreciate it. I mean, I've never personally heard of any YouTuber getting fucked the way I did over the last 4 years. I've never heard of it. Never in my life have I heard of absolute destruction of a human being due to YouTube. Like this. I hope that this sheds some light on my predicament over the last few years and the future, where I'm really excited to make content finally that I can invest in. And speaking of investing, I couldn't invest any of the money I was making for 4 years because I didn't even have access to it. Oh my God. And I still have $250,000 tied up overseas in a bank account that I can't access. But I'm finally happy that I could talk about this. So, again, I appreciate all the support that all you guys have been supporting me over the last few years. Yeah, this has been the craziest story ever. Let me know if you've ever heard of a crazier story. Because I bet you haven't. And I hope you have a most wonderful, wonderful evening. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I am making a website. And that is true. There is now a website that is actually alive. It took a long time to put together. It actually looks super good. I'm not gonna lie. I am really proud of how it came out. nuxtaku.com. I can post videos there that YouTube doesn't like. Now, I'm not gonna be posting on some sort of schedule. It's mostly gonna be either for re-uploads that YouTube doesn't like or random shiz that I find funny that YouTube doesn't like. There's not gonna be a specific schedule, but definitely go there. It's a lot of fun. And a lot of you have been asking for merch to help support the channel and, you know, get some sweet drip. There's merch there too. Currently, I only have the Nux water art and Billy merch, but I do plan on incorporating new drops constantly with new merch getting included. If you have any merch design ideas, feel free to send it. Again, this is very big on the whole community aspect, and since it sucks when YouTube is your only source of revenue, if YouTube decides not to pay you, I've decided, hey, I could do something like this, but you know, it costs a lot to make a merch site, and it's hard to spend money if YouTube's not paying you, so it took until now for it to exist. Ha! But it does exist. nuxtaku.com. It is also linked in the description. Feel free to go over there and grab some merch. Honestly, I think the watercolor looks really goddamn good. And the Billy merch is just such a great meme. Oh, and also, being that it's my website, I can do whatever I want there. So there are a ton of memes and a ton of Easter eggs. There's also a place where you can add memes. The descriptions are all having fun. I just have fun with the goddamn site. Because it's mine and there's no massive corporate evil overlord controlling it and pulling the strings above me. It feels so good to not have evil massive corporate overlords controlling it and pulling the strings above me. You have no idea. Feel free to just look around at the Easter eggs. Look at the cool art. I don't know. I'm proud of it. God damn it, it's cool. I really appreciate all the support that all of you guys have been doing. So I felt like this was a good time to launch it and tell you that this is a thing. And again, it would be really appreciated if you go pick some up. It looks goddamn cool, in my opinion, and it's not cringe to walk around in public with. Which I think most YouTuber merch kinda is. Anyway, feel free to check out my main channel where this video is right now, Taku, where all the videos I post are videos that I am going to really be putting 100% into. I'm really proud of my recent content, as I've mentioned, and I'm happy you guys have been liking it. Also, on my second channel, Nuxanor, I am posting 2 videos a day, which is pretty insane. I do say so myself, but I am posting 2 videos a day on my second channel, which are kind of just, you know, more memes, take it easy, not crazy, massive, insane tournaments, but just talking my mind about things that I'm interested in, or getting into beef with people because they deserve it, or, you know, roasting people on Twitter, or looking at memes. You know how it is. Second channel's a good time. I'm enjoying it a lot. So 2 videos a day on the second channel, and 3 videos a day on my new shorts channel, Nuxamore, which will be linked in the description along with everything else. And, of course, definitely check that out. 3 videos a day there. They're gonna be shorts. Each is gonna be less than a minute long, and I'm also gonna be posting them on TikTok. If you have a TikTok, follow me, Taku Official, on TikTok as well. If you want to get in contact with me in any way, honestly, Twitter's the best bet. I tend to check my mentions as frequently as I can. If I don't see it, feel free to just send it again. So my Twitter is @Nux_Taku, which is also in the description. I felt like a video like this was important to make for a myriad of reasons, and I do appreciate all of you that have supported me through all this time. That, honestly, I could not talk about the issues I've been in, but I'm finally happy to be able to step out of that cursed shadow and move on to a bright future where hopefully YouTube will pay me and I can use that money to actually make content that I am freaking proud of, like I have been of my recent videos. Gamers, women, and gentlewomen, I salute thee. I appreciate thee. And once again, huge mucho thanks to Charlie and his team. Ben and Matt, you guys are legends, and you have no idea how much I appreciate you. Have yourself a most wonderful evening. Share the video around, god damn it. And remember to stay weird, fam.